Mr. Meadows, you'll be first on this question. How do you feel about the spending to date of the Greenspace Bond funds, and how should the remaining funds be spent?
I was outvoted by the voters 2-1 on the Greenspace Bond. Sounds like some admirable ideas, but I believe that the notion now would have been rejected given the current economy that we're in. And I believe the Greenspace Bond, again, admirable and has some wonderful ideas, but should have been done in a different format and a different way. Of course, now we have to service that debt with our property taxes for a very long time to come. But we still have some money left to be spent, and I think that we need to consider a very conservative fiscal management approach to that remaining money, so that if we're going to do something with that money, it needs to be spent for something that is a fiscally sustainable solution, because the maintenance and operations of some of the expenditures that we had with the Greenspace money, we're all going to have to pay for the rest of our lives in this county, and I think that that's a nightmare for the future for us to have to bear the burden of.
Ms. Davis, do you need it repeated?
No, ma'am. I said the Greenspace was voted on overwhelmingly by the citizens of South County, and the commissioners were put to the task of implementing that. We may have been hastening to buy some land that I think was a little overpriced, but at the time, I guess we didn't know the economy was going to fall through the floor. But we're about, as far as buying land, we're running out of that portion that we can buy land with. Now we've got the money left to build athletic centers. I think there's 2 athletic centers on that budget. Now we don't have the money to operate these athletic centers, but I think the citizens voted on it, and they deserve to go ahead and be built because they want it and they need it in their communities. We need to go ahead and proceed with it. It was voted on. Some people say we should not spend the money and give it back, but I think it's up to us to spend it wisely.
Meadows?
I can envision a Greenspace purchase that might be a nice lake, walking trails, and some other things that we would enjoy. And what I'm envisioning is the Lafarge quarry site, and that could potentially be an opportunity for us to consider the purchase. It's been said that there's an extended lease. It has 5-year renewals on there, and the current owner, George Wolper, is interested in selling that property. So it would be nice if we had the reins and could control just a little bit more of our destiny and future, and possibly there's a win-win with the rest of the Greenspace money, and we could consider killing 2 birds with one stone, so to speak, and being able to secure our water future and also being able to spend the money in a way that would be fiscally sustainable for the future.
I believe my opponent may misunderstand the Greenspace a little bit. It was laid out in sections to be done. We had purchased land, we had to build buildings, we had to build recreation centers, and I think the portion that divides land is almost depleted. Unless we sell the land we have bought now, probably at a lesser price, to invest in the quarry, there's no way to spend the Greenspace left over unless we go back to the citizens and ask them, can we do this? When something is voted on, you're supposed to go by the wishes of the people that voted on it. I think that's part of the Republican principle. We don't change things once they have been voted on it. Thank you.
I would encourage that we make all efforts to ensure the legality of any purchase that we might consider. I would like to see a very detailed analysis of what's left with the money, where it is, where it's been spent, and possibly give a very good review to ensure that every dime has been spent the way that the taxpayers had envisioned.
Thank you.